If you're feeling like, why can't I just get my life together? Why aren't there more hours in the day? Or maybe you're feeling overwhelmed or just burnt out in motherhood and you want to get your life together, then stick around for this video. Hey everyone, welcome to A Mom for Every Season, helping you live your most heart-centered and empowered motherhood and life, where you will find all things conscious parenting, mindful motherhood, and intentional living. So if you are brand new, my name is Taryn, and I would absolutely love for you to stick around and hit that subscribe button. And if any of those resonated with you, then make sure you do that so you don't miss any upcoming videos. Today's video, I'm sharing with you, how to finally get your life together as a mom. And first off, I want to let you in on a little secret. So come closer. I don't know if that sounds corny, but I want to let you know you already have your life together. It's already there, but I get it because I've definitely been where you are right now. I've felt that, my life is just down in the dumpsters, nothing's going right, feeling overwhelmed or just blah. However you are feeling right now, it is okay. And I'm going to share with you how I, worked myself out of those feelings. Okay, and I want to kind of get this out in the air right away. But if you clicked on this video because you are looking, how to organize and clean and be more productive and do it all in motherhood, then this video is not for you. This video is not for you because I am not going to be discussing any of those. I am strictly talking about your goals, your dreams, your life, how to get to a place where you feel amazing about your life. These are things that have actually directly worked in my own life. And I want to just discuss something too, is that there is just this very pervasive aspect in mom culture that you have to have this clean and tidy, organized, decluttered home, and then it also equating to having your life together. Just go on YouTube right now and search how to get your life together, and a lot of organization videos come out. Why is it that moms feel the need to why is it that they feel their life is together when their house is clean and organized? What is it? I think it gives us kind of a sense of control in our life. It's something that we can control. But I just want to let you know that, your life is already together. Again, the secret I told you at the beginning, your life is already together. It may not feel that way, and these tips will help you move forward in that aspect. And I shared this one on Instagram, but your tidiness and cleanliness of your home does not directly relate to how put together your life is. It just doesn't. And because there's a whole lot of, guilt and shame in motherhood that if you have a messy house, that your life is not together. And if you are one of those moms that feels that way, then I want to let you know that you are an amazing mom, whether or not your house is clean or whether or not your life is organized. You are an amazing mom. Which leads me into the first step, is dropping your expectations or lowering your expectations. Because again, and this can be with certain areas of your life, especially if you have young kids right now or even babies, then dropping those expectations on maybe cleaning your house. Maybe this season of motherhood right now, your house is going to be a little messy, and that's okay. Letting go of some of the things that, in the grand scheme of life don't really matter. Your priorities as a mom with newborns or a mom in general, but especially if you have young kids, your priority should be your self-care. So dropping those expectations on maybe having a spick and span clean house and pouring it into your self-care first. And then maybe if there's more time, going back to cleaning or going back to other aspects of your life. And I think a lot of times we go into this whole thing, especially with social media, we're surrounded by everyone else's highlight reels, that it can kind of get consuming in our own mind that we have to play to that expectation. And that's, it's so misleading. I mean, I do try and share real life moments on my Instagram as well, but if you're following someone that is making you feel like you're less, then maybe dropping those as well. Drop that expectation that you have to be their standard of, well, really, it's not even a standard. It's their highlight reel. I'm sure they all have messy houses. Their kids have challenging behaviors, all of that. No one is perfect. So we really have to release the guilt, release the expectations in motherhood, and just support each other. And then step number 2 kind of goes hand in hand as well, but just stop chasing the next thing. You know, we can get caught in kind of this hamster wheel of thinking where it's okay when,
you know, my house is clean and organized, my life will be put together. When I get my home decluttered, my life will be put together. When I finally sit down and plan and am intentional with my time, my life will be put together.
But again, at the beginning, like I said, your life is already put together. It's really up to you to make the change in your life and really focusing on kind of the feeling that you are looking for. So if you are looking for more ease in your life, then bring that into your life and feel it. Bring ease to moments where maybe you feel anxious, and stop chasing for the next happy thing or the next milestone. Like sometimes it's like, okay, when all of these events are done, I can finally rest. But who says you can't rest and bring restoration or fun and ease, the busy on-the-go mom shuffle, right? Like who says you can't bring those elements and those feelings into those moments? There's no chase. It's already there. All you have to do is focus on that feeling and focus on what you want to create in your life. It's not some far out aspect in your life that you have to like go and grab, and it's like the next cookie crumb and you're going and grabbing, and
it's like, ooh, it's over here, and then it's over here, and then it's over here.
And then you realize it's like, okay, it's still not here because you haven't brought it into your life and you haven't put that focus onto it. Okay, step number 3 is something so tiny, but this by far has had the biggest impact in my life. And that is doing tiny little habits and tiny little steps. And it's just taking it one little tiny step at a time. So when you're thinking of a goal or what you want to accomplish in your life, I mean, whether that is to, you know, get healthier and provide nutritious meals for your families, or families, like you have more than one family. Or maybe you do have a goal to organize and declutter your home, right? Like if you think of the huge grand scheme of things and the big picture, you can get overwhelmed, which can lead to falling back into old habits. So if you can just pour your focus into tiny little habits that you can do every day. And again, this is something so minute and so tiny that you can't make excuses about not doing it. So for instance, I'm huge into habits. I have been, for the last couple of years, have just been slowly adding or decreasing or taking away habits. And I've just been doing it a tiny little bit at a time. For like last year, I started a habit of eating more fruits and veggies. And initially I started with 5, just adding 5, which is for some might seem really small. Maybe you eat a lot of fruit and veggies, but at that time in my life, I had some really toxic and negative bad habits. So I started with 5. So for months and months, I just stuck with that 5. And maybe for you, maybe you need to start with 3. So, and then I gradually increased it. I have been working on this habit for more than a year. Like, let that sink in. And it still, to this day, takes me time to mentally think about it. I don't get where this whole, you can create a habit in 21 days. Sure, there are habits that can be created in that amount of time, and some people can create them faster. But most often, it is a long haul. You have to really work at this, and it is so easy to go back into bad habits. It is way easier to slip back into old habits than it is to create a new habit. That's why a lot of people stay stuck where they are. They stay in their old patterns, their old habits, and their old wiring. It takes work, and it takes consistency, and it takes constantly building that up. So again, consistency matters, and it's amazing how much momentum you can build just by doing these little habits. And so I have multiple little habits going right now that I have taken time, that I will just add a couple new habits. Right now, I've kind of been strictly working on the same ones for this year. I'm part of a group called Achievement Club, and we, at the beginning of this year, were asked to come up with 10 non-negotiable habits. And these are, again, small, tiny habits. I mean, sometimes it's, brushing your teeth, whatever that is. But the point of it is to build up confidence, build up consistency, and build up momentum. Because by doing your 10 non-negotiables every day, and for you, that might look like 3, it might look like 5, but by accomplishing them every day, you are building up your own self-integrity, which then again builds up your confidence, because you are following through with a promise you made to yourself and that you are keeping. That is the game changer in all of this, is that when you start following through with what you have told yourself to do, then again, your life will dramatically change. So think of something small. Let me know in the comments down below what little tiny habit that you want to work on in the next couple months. Most people think of goals, whereas I like to think of what habits do I need in order to accomplish this goal? And then I pour all my focus into the habits. So, because oftentimes with goals, you think of something that you can't quite control. So for instance, a lot of people will want to lose weight, but really you ultimately have no control over what your body is going to do. But you do have control over, how many workouts are you going to do this week? What are you going to feed your body to, energize and vitalize it? You have control over that. If you're used to eating out all the time and you're going to fast food, maybe look at, okay, this week I'm going to cook 3 home-cooked nutritious meals this week. And then the following week, maybe you could up that, or the next couple weeks you can continue to up that. Start tiny, start small to build that momentum and to change your life. I promise you, it's a game changer. Okay, step number 4, and I mean, you don't have to do these steps in orders, but this is just kind of the order I put it in my video. But this might even be better to start with before you do the habits, the tiny habits, but doing a brain dump and just getting it all on paper. And you can even do this nightly so that you're not going to bed and thinking of all of the to-do lists that you have to do tomorrow. Because of course, as moms, we always have this endless list of things to do, and that can keep us up at night sometimes. So doing a brain dump and just literally listing off everything possible that you either want to accomplish or to do, or just really anything that is just in your mind. Just don't hold back. Basically, word vomit on your page and get it all out there, because as soon as you put it on paper and get it out of your mind, that already mentally, gives you clarity and helps you with overwhelm. It just is an instant relief to get it all down and not have to think about it. All this brain dump is gonna, capture scattered thoughts that are, go throughout your whole day. You can have a running list if you like, if you need to. I've even used apps like Trello where you can categorize different things. And then once you have it all down on paper or in an app or whatever, then again, you're going to categorize them all. So you're going to have one for fast wins, like what's something that you have been either putting off and will be quick that you can instantly do to gain some momentum on the fact that you're accomplishing your to-do list. And then you can break it down into your today. What do you want to get done today? What are ones that you can delegate or delete that completely are irrelevant or you just don't need anymore? Remove it completely or delegate it. And just what are general errands? And you can even break it down into different aspects of your life. So maybe you have a home category or a family category, a self category, health. All of those things you can also break down, so you can have just a running list of all the things that you want to either get done or accomplish, or that is just part of your to-do list. And then take a really deep look at your list and figure out, what really doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. Is this part of my big picture goal, or is this just something that I feel obligated to do? And is there something that you are avoiding? What is the major thing that you have been avoiding on that list? And can you do it right away? Like right now, after this video. Try and do it right away. Number 5 is 2 minutes. So if there is something in your day-to-day life, if there is something in your day-to-day life that you can accomplish in less than 2 minutes, then just get it done. So this is little things like, okay, if you had bills that you just got in the mail, rather than putting them on the counter, if it'll take you less than 2 minutes, go bring them to the file cabinet or pay them or whatever you need to do. It's just those little moments that you always seem to put off and procrastinate on, which I'm really guilty of, that it's like, okay, well, I'm gonna hang up my clothes after, or will take 2 minutes or less. Just get it done, because then it is out of your mind, it's done, and you don't have to worry about it. Okay, number 6, it's called a time tracking experiment. So what you track what you are doing every single minute for a week. So if you're eating, you're going to put down, okay, from this time to this time I ate. If you are scrolling Facebook or watching Netflix, you have to add it to the log, and just putting everything that you literally do every single day to get, a capture of what your day-to-day looks like. And I mean, you can even do this for your screen time. If you have an iPhone, you can go and look at your screen time and how much time you are spending on your phone, which is kind of scary. It's so scary to look at that. It's like, okay, really, that I was on my phone for that amount of time? That's crazy. That's insane, right? But just getting a big picture of how you are spending your time. And I've done a video, I think it was more than a year ago. I can link it in the description box down below, but it's about planning your year to have an intentional year. And I mean, it is for the beginning of the year, but it can be done at any point of the year. And it's just all about being intentional with your time and really lining that up with what you value and what you want in your life. So you can use that video, and there's also a printable in that video too. You can use that with the time log and kind of see what are you doing in your day-to-day life that can either be diminished or taken out completely so that you can pour more focus into what you actually are valuing. So if you value family time, taking a look at your week and saying, okay, have I spent very much time with my family this week? If it's not the case, then really take a deep look at what you're valuing in your life right now. What are you currently prioritizing over your family? I mean, if you value your health or want to value your health, is your week and your time corresponding with what you are valuing? Are you leading a healthy lifestyle? Where are your priorities in your life? And does it correspond with what you value in life? And you want to really sink into what kind of feelings you want in your life. Like, how do you want to feel? How do you want to show up? And asking yourself, and what I am currently doing corresponding with my values and my wants and my desires. And if it's not the case, then what can you do to eliminate some of that on your time log? So maybe that might look like less scrolling on Facebook, or maybe even deleting apps, deleting Instagram, deleting Facebook, deleting YouTube if you have to, but after this video. Or maybe you need to take a break from Netflix and whatever. Or is there a way that you can mesh the two together? If you're trying to work out, maybe you could work out and watch Netflix, or use them. You can even use it as a reward. Maybe you don't watch TV until you have worked out. Right now, I've noticed, I've started getting this really bad habit of like mindlessly scrolling social media. So I made a habit, and again, it comes back down to my 10 non-negotiables and my tiny little habits. So I am not allowed to scroll anything until I have done at least 4 of my 10 non-negotiables a day, which is a low number, but it's surprisingly hard. I usually get 3 of those non-negotiable done before 8 a.m. And then the rest of them are kind of throughout the day. So one of them is no screen time before bed, which obviously I can't check off until the end of the day. I mean, I can get more into my 10 non-negotiables if you guys want a video on that as well. But essentially that 4th one is tricky to get. So it pushes me a little bit more to get those things done, because then I know I'm like, okay, I can take a break here, because of course, as moms, we want those little tiny breaks, which is totally fine. You kind of want to just mindlessly scroll social media sometimes, and that's okay, but making sure that you've prioritized all those other things first. And then number 7 is making your to-do list at night. So I've done this in the morning too, and I've come back and forth, but I've just started doing it more at nighttime, because again, I get it off my mind so I can go fall asleep easily, and I already know what I have to do the next day. Making a to-do list, but then picking your only top 3 that are a must do. I usually will put my 10 non-negotiables on there as well, but my top 3 do not involve my 10 non-negotiables, because those are just going to get done. That's something that I do every day. But choosing only 3 that if you don't get the rest of the to-do list done, then it's fine. It's okay. Like, we can't as moms do it all every single day. It's just not possible, especially with young kids. And I mean, we're at their beck and call most of the time, right? So again, I use my mornings to get a lot of my stuff done. I can link some videos. I share some morning routines, how to get up earlier. And I choose mornings because I've noticed that when it comes to nighttime, by the time the nighttime rolls around, I'm either tired, I make excuses, I don't get my stuff done, and I'll end up distracting myself instead again and like watching TV or scrolling Facebook. Why do I keep saying Facebook? I don't use Facebook that much. I use Instagram. So if you need help with any of those areas of life, then make sure you check out my other morning routine and self-care videos. And I mean, sometimes too, your top 3 might not get done as well. That's motherhood sometimes. Give yourself a lot of grace on that aspect and just release the guilt, which I know is hard. It's really hard to release mom guilt, and you always want to feel productive, and that productivity can lead to you, feeling like you have your life together. But again, I want to remind you that your life is already together, and if you want to change your life, you don't need external sources to validate that. You are the change that you need. Okay, I'd love to know what you are working on right now. What are your big goals? Whether that's maybe you're working on a financial goal or health goal, or maybe just a self-care goal. Let me know in the comments down below. Okay, make sure you check out these videos here for more conscious parenting, intentional living, and mindful motherhood videos. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. And of course, if you're brand new, I would love for you to stick around and hit that subscribe button. And that is it for now. Bye for now. I hope this video was helpful.